Well, another cracking episode we've got in store for you today. Legend in my eyes, a cracking player, somebody that's went and done it north and south of the border. Got his 50th cap there, Boydy, and one of your ex-teammates who done all your running, Boydy. I'm not saying some of it, he done all your running for you. Most of the goals that you scored, you wouldn't have got it without him. So tell us, Boydy, who have you got?
Well, I'm going to add a little bit of substance to that. He used to clean my boots as well. And every Saturday night he would drop my wee text saying, Boydy, my fingers are hurting me again. You've burnt them again because my boots were always on fire, Snoddy. Do you know what I mean? But what a player. What a player. I enjoyed playing with him. And not just that, a great person off the field as well. Does a lot of work for charity as well. So welcome, Stephen Naismith, to the show.
Afternoon, guys.
There he is. How you doing?
All good. All good. Starting to find this pretty normal, living in lockdown now.
Living in lockdown, you know. You're right. Right, Naisy, let's get straight into it. As a kid playing football on the street down your local park, who did you pretend to be or who was your idol? And you're not allowed to say me.
Nah, it was sad, to be fair. You were later on, but it didn't last very long. To be honest, growing up, obviously being a Rangers fan, it was a 9 in a row team. My personal go-to for out in the back garden playing was Brian Laudrup, Patrick Boots and all. Silky player, scored goals, done some great stuff in the game. So it was always him that I wanted to try and emulate out of the back garden.
You obviously didn't watch a lot of him then, with the way your career went.
I found very quickly I wasn't great at the old step overs and the silky football and more of running.
See back then, did you generally think you would have the career that you've went on to have? Did you think you were going to be a professional footballer back then?
No, I think we're all probably similar in terms of the growing up, that generation and stuff. You just played it because you loved it. Played it because all your mates played it. And I found out I was kind of going full-time the night before my first standard grade exam at school. So I never really thought about it up. I just got the phone call from Alan Robertson at the time saying we'll offer you a 2-year kind of first YTS contract. And I was an average student at school, so it was just a case of straight in, sign it. And I didn't really know what I was getting into as well, to be honest, which was a culture shock for seeing anything new.
Naisy, did you see when you signed for Kilmarnock? Did you have any other options?
Well, I did, but going through the youths and all that, I was never one that everybody was after or loads of teams wanted. I was comfortable at Kilmarnock and stuff, but going in full time, Livy, is it Tony Fitzpatrick?
Aye, Tony Fitz. Aye.
At the time he was the head of the academy or whatever. He'd said I got full time there. To be honest, after Kilmarnock had said going in there, it suited me. It was close to home. I'd been there for years, so I knew all the young boys going in.
By the way, how funny would that have been? We wouldn't have even seen Snoddy if you'd have joined Livingston, mate. You wouldn't have seen him. You'd have kept him at the team.
Would that have cleaned your boots, Naisy? Would that have been cleaning your boots?
By the way, Naisy, we've not brought it up for the first couple of episodes of this. That would have been probably when Snoddy was sent out to Stirling Albion. Man, it was a fantastic club to to learn your trade as such, and then you obviously moved on to Rangers. But there was links with Celtic and that there at the time as well. How big a decision was it for you to go to Rangers in the first place? And you know, for you growing up a Rangers fan, how proud were you?
It was. I kind of pushed on to the next level when you actually left, fortunately, because it gave me a better in the team, a bigger standing in terms of the goals and that. But then when the kind of chat of moving started to come about, I think 6 months before Hibs tried to get me, and then that summer Martinez at Swansea and Rangers and Celtic. But when Rangers came in, I was just blinkered. I didn't want to go anywhere else. I wasn't interested in going to England. I wasn't. There was this kind of wee bit of Rangers and Celtic going, so try to price each other out. But from the very first minute, I had said to Kilmarnock, look, I'm only going one place, so you need to kind of do a deal there. And it egged on and on and on. In football, it does, but I was literally just over the moon thinking, like, Rangers. I would have done anything, to be honest, to get there. So glad when it finally came.
Did you feel as if when you had Coyce there, did you focus on him? Did you think to yourself, I'm going to latch on to him? Obviously, out and out goal scorer. His record speaks for itself. But did you feel, I'm going to try and learn that from him? This is my moment. He's obviously known for being a big character, funny, laughing jokes. But when you look at somebody for his goal scoring record, and the way he scored the like a striker goal, I always call it, where makes the runs, the out and out finisher. Did you learn a lot off of him?
I learned a lot. I wouldn't say I went in and thought, I'm just going to watch Coyce, because in all honesty, I never really ever felt as if I was a striker. Even at Kilmarnock and that, I never felt, I'm a striker, I need to score goals. But his art of finishing was tremendous. Even at Rangers, his art of finishing was unbelievable. Honestly, in the wee 5-a-side games and that, the calmness, persona, just slot things home every day. So I probably learned that side of it, like you said, being in the right place. But then you've got Durante, who I'd probably say I was more suited to what he done. He runs into the box, he's finding pockets of space, and I'd say he was a big influence in that respect. So it was more bits and bobs of the coaches in general. It wasn't so much because I wasn't defined. I was never a defined. You probably, when I was at Rangers, couldn't tell me what position I played best. I could play up front, so I scrambled to get in the team.
Did you feel, Naisy, that you were like a number 10 then, or is the front man, and sort of if you're playing like a midfield free, did you always just feel it was like a free role as such, or did you never see yourself as that out and out striker? Because there was stages where I felt as if you adapt quite well to that, where it was coming in pockets, but you also could make runs like the horrible runs that like centre halves they don't like turning, and you were in. So as if you were probably between, you were like a 9.5 as such. I'd call it, where they strikers where it's quite hard. What did you prefer?
In later career, I preferred being in the middle of the pitch because you're involved in the game more. You can get both sides of the pitch. You'll know yourself. Playing on a wing, if the ball's not coming out your side, it's the most frustrating thing in the whole game. You're sitting making runs, trying to find space to get on the ball, and if you're not getting it, you're up there as bad a moaner as I am. So all you can do is shout and scream, try to get it. But so I prefer playing in the 10, but I think playing off the sides as you're younger, you've got more room for making mistakes. And again, I just wanted to be in the team. Going to Rangers, the competition for places was huge, and you had to make sure you were getting chances to show the manager you could play.
Leaving Kilmarnock for me and going to Rangers was it was the you had to win every week. You had to win. What was important for you to learn to cope with the pressure of having to win every week?
Aye, that was the first thing I noticed when you went in there. The demands, but I'd say the likes of Fergie was a massive one to put that into practice and training. But then one of my earliest memories of Rangers was playing Inverness away. So I started maybe on the right or left wing, and half time comes, I think it was nothing each, and I get hooked. And for the whole second half, I just sat in the changing room thinking, I've not even played that badly. Why am I being taken off? I wouldn't say that to the manager, but then after the game, the manager just said, come in early Monday, come and see me. So I was all weekend thinking, what have I done here? And then he just pulled me in, and the gaffer being the gaffer, he was like, look, nothing wrong with your performance at the weekend, but at this club, every game you need to win. You could have went up there 2 weeks ago with Kilmarnock, and you'd have probably been one of the best players in the park, but when you're at Rangers, you need to win every game. So I just had to change something, and that was probably a big indicator for me to say, you can't just coast through games and be a 6 or a 7 out of 10. You need to try and do something in a game to make a difference, especially playing in one of the forward positions.
How many did I score that day?
No many, probably, because I can't remember it.
No many, come on, mate, come on. Well, listen, you won. You're part of a squad that won numerous titles, cups, obviously got to the UEFA Cup finals. But what was your standout memory, your personal highlight, through
that? It's hard because there was so many. The European run was unbelievable, but then I got a bad injury just before the semis, so I never went to Florence, missed that bit, and then you go down to Manchester, and as much as you enjoy the occasion, you're just a supporter, which was hard. Couple that probably stand out was the St Mirren final, the 9 men. I came on as a sub, set up Kenny for the goal. That was the first time I really thought, I've done something here for the club and contributed. And the biggest one would be winning the title, Kilmarnock, last day of the season. Just perfect game you could get after 7 minutes, 3-0 up, win at 5-1, and party time at midday kind of thing. So it was, they're the biggest memories for me. But just like yourself, you grow up thinking about it, and then it goes past in a whirlwind. But then when you look back, it was some journey, really. And we had great squads all the way through for it.
See on that, when you go back, who would you? Is there still? I mean, because obviously we all drift away, but it's amazing. It's amazing when you go back to, guys that you've played with and you've not spoke to them in a while, but they just pick up the phone and everything. Like when you win something, there's a special feeling when you win something as a group, and probably 10, 15 years, whatever it is down the line, we could probably still meet up, and it was as if, the games were yesterday.
Exactly. And but I think that goes back to the core group we had: Davo, Wits, Tomo, me, yourself, Fergie, Kirk. A lot of us travelled together. We were with each other for a good 3-4 years. And throughout our career, we all probably played with each other at more than one club and international. So there was definitely that there. But like you say, you maybe drift off for 4 or 5 years, but then the first time you speak again, it's just like normal. And that's because when you win trophies, they're some of the best things in your whole career you're going to do.
Snoddy, I hope Naisy starts to bring some of this banter that I gave him when I was travelling up and down the road with him.
How was that, Naisy? You was travelling together?
Eventful, mate. Very eventful. From sitting waiting in Boydy, being late, I'm quite particular with my times. Where are you? I'll be 5 minutes away, 20 minutes past. They just 100 mile an hour in the corner to pick you up, to stopping for a coffee at Starbucks. And Boydy bounces back out with 2 ham and cheese croissants for him before training. Boydy's false
teeth. Man walks out just smoking a baguette. He's just flossing off with a baguette.
Honestly, gone in about 2 seconds as well, man. One bite to get croissant.
Yeah, I used to say to him as well, do you want anything? No, I don't want anything.
Roll on with a cheese and ham baguette before training.
I used to say,
you're going to have a full breakfast when we get to training.
I always used to say to him leaving the car, do you want anything? He would always say, no, I'll get my breakfast when I can. And I would go and order 2 croissants and take them back to the car, hoping that he was going to say, I don't want it. And I would just have 2 to myself.
Hey, no word of a lie. No word of a lie, right? You'd pull up to the gates at the training ground as we're going in. Boydy's wiping all the crumbs off him. He's wiping all the crumbs off his gear before he gets out of the water.
I'll tell you a cracker. I was 16-year-old boy. I know the feeling, mate. Don't worry about it. And I think I was one of the fattest boys at Livingston at the time, right?
You try to say I was fat?
Huh?
You try to say I was fat?
You're just big boned, right? And then Paul Lambert pulls me in. And he goes, listen, he says, getting the body fats here. He says, you're 16. He says, you're the fattest at the club. And I'm like, what? I was like, you're trolling, I've been grafting and all. He's like, no. Sits there and he talks away to me. He's like, I'm going to get you in touch with a big guy called Drew Hendry for Celtic, Boydy, right? Big Drew. He's ripped, shredded, skinny, absolute great guy, meathead, right? And he was the guy that was going to get me ripped, right? So I'm like, no, that comes out of the room. Boys are lies. How'd it go? I was like, Lambo, fuming, raging with my diet, right? I'm like, I swear to God, I'm like, boys are like, travelling back down the road, right down the M8. They're like, Snod, do you want any things here? Like, no, I'm off everything and all that. Gets to the services, pull into Hart Hill services. 25 minutes away, Naisy, right? I'm not joking here. So, because in the garage, and I'm like, soon as you walk in on the window, meal deal. I'm like that. You're beauty. I'm like big eat Worcester sauce. I think it was right. And I'm like, oh, come on. Like, gives him. Gets back in the motor. No word of a lie, Naisy. I've just took the first crisp, Boydy. The door opens, Paul Lambert. He folded us on the way back to the services. I'm like, I'm like, in mid-flow. I was like Gary Lineker in the Walkers advert, and I've done that, look. I just done that to the boy in the front. I went, here's your crisp back, like, as if I was only having one. He went mental, absolutely mental with me. So, Boydy, I know the feeling, big man. I know the
big man.
For the first time in my life, I'm in good company when it comes to eating junk food. I love it. By the way, Daisy,
we'd go to hotels. We'd go to hotels before games, man. And his suitcase would be filled with munchies of all sorts. Night before a game, but the times you try to go on a diet and that, you never scored goals.
Never scored goals. See, that was the difference. I was a freak of nature. That's what I was. You know, when I tried to eat healthy and everything. When I tried to eat healthy, I never scored. It was, no for me. It was.
Did you treat yourself, boy, with a 324 bag of Walkers if you scored?
24. It was 2. 48. Yeah. Here's one for you. See when I got rid of the old Nashers. That was magnificent because I couldn't. My mouth was that sore I couldn't really eat, so I did lose a little bit there. But I tell you what, I done the wee man. I'll let him tell you the story here, Snoddy. I done him up.
He did, but unfortunately for me, Boydy was set up back left of the bus, right up the back. Right, so on our way to a cup game, Queen of the South away, I think, and up the back, everybody's just chatting away and all the rest of it. Jokes flying about, boys playing cards and that. Next minute, I think Boydy's like, oh, what's that out the window? So I turn round, look out the window. His false teeth are sitting on my shoulder. He's pulled them out, right? So he's sat them just right there on my shoulder. Horrible things as well. His false ones were black. And then get in the hotel, straight into the pre-match. Sit in the hotel, pre-match. I'm up, get my food, come back. Boydy's sitting across from me. Go to take a drink of my water. His falsers are in my water. So
they were magnificent. They were magnificent.
That's the best crack. I've not seen any of that one here, Naisy. I didn't know he had banter.
Snoddy. Oh, trust me, I've had banter over the years.
That was a good group. We had a lot of good laughs. Hotel night stays, man. Honestly.
That was so many of them. Got you through them, wasn't it? Having the banter, having the laughing jokes. It was brilliant.
You would go straight for training on a Friday, and you'd have Friday afternoon all the way to a Saturday game, which it was the banter did get you through.
See, obviously you spoke about there was a good core there. There was a good bunch. How important is that, Naisy? You've had it and you've went on. So it obviously is important when you look at the titles and stuff. You've won the trophies, but how important is that to you? And listen, would you, because you realise about to take it into management?
Definitely. I think I've been fortunate. Rangers was very similar, I'd say, to Everton. In terms of you had a bunch of guys who'd been and stayed at the career for a prolonged period of time. Everton was the same. Going down there, you had Jagielka, Baines, Hibbert, Osman, Tim Howard, Sylvain Distan, who had all been around the club for years and years. Seamus Coleman was another one. And it's more than just a job. It's more than just being a team. There's that extra connection that definitely plays its part massively.
We need to touch on it. See, obviously it was plain sailing with Rangers. A few of us had started to leave, kind of type thing. But how difficult was it when Craig Whyte took over?
It was surreal with Ency at the start. It was surreal. I had again just had a bad knee injury, just in the October time, and then everything started to unravel in the January. But it was surreal that this club had been so successful. Yes, players had come and gone, but you never really expected it to be the way it was. And then it just got to the point where it was as if they knew it was happening, but they'd come in one morning and be like, need an answer right now, what's happening? So I personally didn't like the position they were putting us in terms of trying to push you for try to bully into taking an answer that you didn't really want. So there was a few of us, there was a group of us, Griggsy, myself, Davo, Jig, that kind of would stand up and say, look, that's no good enough, blah, blah, blah. But you're a footballer, try to just play the game. But for 80% of our week, we were talking to administrators, we were talking to the board or whoever was employed by the club to try and talk about everything but football. It was a terrible time, if I'm honest.
Naisy, did you feel as if so see when you get to a certain stage there and there's administrators and all that stuff, so you actually get to a stage, you've got a lot of groupies, you feel this isn't Rangers, you know, this isn't the club where we were so successful with. This is a totally different setup. When did you know the club were actually in trouble?
Again, in the January when it kind of kicked off, it was all right. We're going to do X, Y, and Z just to get the club in a good footing. Nothing will change. We'll move forward, and everything will be fine. Come plain sailing, come the summer. Now we were 15 points clear at the top of the league at the time, and then after the administration, I can't even remember what time that was. As soon as the administration happened, the boys would train twice a week, 2 days a week. You'd be out in the grass. I was in the gym because I was injured, and then you get to play. You go to a Saturday game, and it was crazy. The results just nosedived, and then it just got worse and worse and worse. Really.
Did you see at the time? Did you feel for Coisty and the supporters, and the people who it meant so much to Rangers?
Definitely, because, and again, my mates would be all going to the game, and they'd hear a story or they'd hear from an administrator or whatever, and they'd be buzzing, thinking, yes, it's moving forward. But everything they said, but then you get in the next week, it was totally different. It was a mess. It was even further. No, we can't do this. We can't do that. Us as a squad of players were trying everything they could from taking pay cuts to, I can't remember all the things, the different legal things that could be done that would save jobs, nobody losing their jobs, and then we'd come out of it. At the end of the day, they just turned around and were like, nah, we don't really want to do that. That was their thing. So they, in my opinion, they had an end game that they were always sticking to, and the collateral damage was going to be the fans, the club, the squad, everything.
It's horrible. I've had it at Livingston went through the administration stage, and I was one of the lucky ones that get kept. I was only a young boy at the time, but I lost a lot of my best mates at the time there. I used to travel in with them, and I think when it happens, you think the first thing for me, you think, oh, it's all right, the lads will get in a club and stuff, but a lot of my mates never recovered. Because what you think is, Boydy, probably yourself as well, when you think, you had a dream about being a football player, you don't know about administration or people coming in and the political side of it, because you're just a young kid, so it sounds like to me, Naisy, there's a lot of hurt there, because you got a lot of criticism for leaving Rangers. Do you think that was fair?
Probably on the football side it's fair, because we were all guys who loved being at Rangers, wanted the club to do so well, supported them growing up. But then in the background, when the people in charge were just doing what they could to get what they could out of the club. I mean, the 2 years after, for the club to lose £70 million in 2 years being in the bottom division in Scotland is incredible. That just tells you the full story. But then on top of that, you've got to think of, again, like I said, I signed with Rangers. I'd have stayed my whole career. I had no interest in going to England. Loved every minute of it. But then when that was kind of put on you and the people that are coming into the club, it doesn't look at the way Lee Wallace has been treated in his later days at the club after what he sacrificed for Rangers. For me, that's not acceptable.
Mm-hmm. Did you obviously you left to join Everton, but did you feel as if you were left with no choice?
I felt it was hard because of the people that came in, definitely. And knowing what they were doing and what they were only interested in making money for themselves. That's the only way I could see it. And it was very tough. It it was one of the toughest things I've ever done in my life, I think. And I remember clearly the day going back into training to get my stuff, to hand back anything I had from the club and that. It was one of the worst days, and up there with getting injured the way I did in the 2 bad injuries I've had.
Daisy, did you feel, because you're a Rangers fan, did you feel as if, was it just at the stage where you felt, no, I obviously I'm desperate to get out because of the situation, or did you feel as if I'm letting the people down that's still there, or were you just at a stage, no, I had to go?
I think it gone too far from the January to the summer. It was just getting worse and worse and worse. And us as a squad of players were doing all we could to just say, right, if it's administration, a tax bill or whatever it is that they're worried about, right, we'll do what we all can as players and a squad, and to make sure none of the tea ladies or the chefs or anything like that would be sacrificed for it, because at the end of the day, that is who makes your football club. Fortunately, at the short term that happened, but then going back, we went back to train at the training centre a fair few years later with Scotland, and to see a lot of the staff had moved on, and that just again shows you what these people came into the club and done.
What made you join Everton?
It was a surreal one, because when the Rangers first went into administration, West Brom were quick off the mark. They were wanting me to sign with them straight away. But I just waited to see what options I had, and had quite a few from down south. But Davy Weir had went to Everton. Jelovic had moved to January, and just after speaking to the manager and the club and that, I felt it suited me best, because I was quite a bit of a home bird. So it was the top half of England, closer to home, easy access, very good football club. I underestimated the quality of the squad as well. They were tremendous. And for me, it worked out to be the best move at a lot of them, I think, from that I could have taken.
How good was it there and playing in the Premier League? I mean, Snoddy's obviously still doing it, and had a fantastic career himself. But in terms of for yourself going down there, that change, even from Rangers being a massive club, but into that Premier League, it's a different level again. How was that for you? Again,
the biggest changes I've noticed, Kilmarnock as Rangers, the speed of play was a big difference, and then going into the Scotland setup was the same. But then going to Everton was a step up again for me. You looked at the players, some of the players were incredible. And before, like I said, I had no notion of going down to England, so I never really probably respected them as much as I should have. But top quality players, and everything's just bigger, massive. There's no boundaries in the English league. Snoddy, you've seen it firsthand now. It's such a big entertainment business that the opportunities you get are tremendous, and that's, if you're willing to fight, again, it goes back to having to fight to get in the team. If you can do that, you can enjoy the years for as long as you can, because they're tremendous. You speak there about the players that you the older experienced ones when you were down, but the manager David Moyes, Snoddy's obviously working under him right now. How big an influence was he on you? And then obviously Roberto Martinez when he came in as well. Yeah, Moyes was great in terms of before the move, speaking to me and stuff. But then being at the club, his attention to detail was nothing I'd seen before. He every player in the opposing team he knows about. We went pre-season once, right? My first year, I signed. A few days later, went pre-season, and the whole training ground had all the pitches ripped up, and they were getting put back down and whatever. So straight off, I think we went to Malaysia or something. Straight off a 20-hour flight or travel back to the training ground. Everybody's bus just want to go home. He's straight up onto the grass like that, just checking how thick the grass is, and his attention to detail was incredible. And the job he done at Everton was brilliant. Moving on to Martinez, probably learned the most off him out of any manager. Just the way his upbringing of Spanish football, total football, fullbacks involved in the attacks. He's sitting midfielder's the one that drops to be the third defender, and that I loved every minute of that, to be honest. Probably played my best football under him. What was your highlights there? obviously I still think the hat-trick against Chelsea. I scored more goals against Chelsea than you have, big man. Scored more goals against Chelsea than you have, big man. That's probably the only team you do. But,
you've done me there, mate, to be fair. I think I've only had a friendly against them. So how many you got against Chelsea? Two.
You've got more against Chelsea than him as well, haven't you?
We can't even combine ourselves and beat them.
I know we can't.
But no, to be honest, probably I think it was my second season or third season. Just that there was a season, enjoyed every minute of it, playing in the team. Martinez, the way he played suited me as a player. And again, he tried to sign me way back at Kilmarnock for Swansea. He tried to sign me for Wigan when I was leaving Rangers. And then to work with him at Everton was great. I think, as probably a lot of players worked under him, just the way he sees the game.
Then, by the way, you might get to the Euros then. He might take you to Belgium.
Aye, maybe a water boy or something. But nah, he was brilliant. And again, like you see, Sean's working with him. And it's just the way you all have had it. When you get a manager that's non-British in terms of their makeup, the getting a tight back four, that kind of thing, that risk and reward, more in the attack, less in the defence. It's enjoyable as forwards.
Naisy, did you feel straight away that you knew something was different? Because first and foremost, it's a different approach to what you've had for sort of British managers. But did you always know he was going to be, a top manager?
Yes, but it takes time. Like again, when we went for Moyes, right, and you know how back everybody defend as a block, as a unit, and build your attacks. Martinez was like to us. He said to me sometimes, "Look, you work too hard for the team. I don't want you to do that. I want when we give you the ball and they're right up your street, boy."
I've had that before. I've had that before as well. Yep.
He's basically saying, "Look, in their half, if you get the ball, we want you to be turning and creating attacks. We don't want you to pass it back to a centre mid or a full back because you're just killing the attack." So he was all about that. And he's like, "So I want you to just get back in position and don't overly defend. Just sit in your position," which again found hard to start with, but as you get used to it, it brought my career on. And Martinez didn't win for the first 6-7 weeks of the season that first year, so it took a bit of time for us to transition from Moyes to him, but then we done really well.